In this documentary, you will learn about our 546 instructional strategies for thinking, collaboration, and motivational course design and activities that are used in class. This documentary was designed as a part of requirement of the R541 class I am taking as a master's degree student at IST Department of IU. Our task was to create a documentary about an instructional intervention using different technology tools. Another reason I chose to describe this intervention is to learn instructional strategies in depth, and I'm going to produce instructional materials in the future for Turkish flagship program where I am currently employed. And finally, I am motivated in familiarizing myself with an e-learning tool such as Captivate.
Businesses want people to work for them who have skills in identifying problems, making decisions, coming up with creative solutions, so forth and so on. And that's basically what this course kind of gets at, is strategies and tactics that are almost like a best practices across each of these areas. What are the skills? What are the definitions of critical and creative thinking? And what are the strategies? And basically we walk through that from the definitions and skills to applications.
Our 546 instructional strategies for thinking, collaboration, and motivation classes are taught on Saturdays for 8 weeks from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. with 2 breaks every 1.5 hours. This course has been taught since 1991 in 2 formats. On-site version and video conferencing version was added in 1996. There are 5 modules to learn about: motivation, creativity, critical thinking, cooperative learning, and innovative learning.
I really like his design as let students learn by practicing. I'm saying this meaning that in the class, the teacher teaches you a lot of teaching strategies about the 4 module of content. Almost for each strategy, the professor is not only talking about how to use it in a classroom. It's not only about talking about teaching. He will let you to be a student, just see how he applied this strategy in this class. And then while you involved in those activities about the strategy, you will kind of have a very good sense about how to apply those strategy into the future teaching and design.
Class materials include PowerPoint presentations, Bonk book library, packet of handouts, on-course learning management system resources, course website, visual aids, YouTube videos, and weekly streamed lectures.
To think about integrating technology. We end with the last module on integration of technology. So that's why I say I'm going to end with that. I'm going to give you lots of examples that relate to that.
I began to think be able to relate creative thinking and how it can apply to my context.
Gordon and Princeton synectics have a whole series of steps, as you see with synectics. I mean, it's not a simple thing here. Having people use symbolic, direct, personal analogies, formulate problems, apply problems, and so forth. They want to create environments where we explore more, where we invent solutions.
During the class, students actively participate in class activities and reflect on strategies they learned. I videotaped creative and critical thinking modules. Attribute listing is a great technique for ensuring all possible aspects of a problem have been examined. In this activity, each student will be given a different object. Then, they will be divided into groups of 3 or 4. After that, they will list attributes of that object. Next, they will imagine what they can do with it. Finally, they will share their imagination and thoughts with the class.
The fabric, the weight, and the bright color.
It can be changed to the virtual reality glasses, augmented reality. You can see everything from your information. And second thing is, this is speaker, but it can be changed to the headphone.
6 thinking hats is a very powerful technique invented by Edward de Bono in the early 80s. Individual and group members can learn how to separate thinking into 6 clear functions and roles. Each thinking role is identified with a colored symbolic thinking hat. This technique helps to develop decision-making skills. White hat thinking is a request to focus on facts. It requires direct and exclusive information base. It calls for information known or needed. Red hat thinking deals with emotions, feelings, hunches, and intuitions. Black hat judges and prevents us from carrying out things that are dangerous and nonsense. It is the most powerful hat. Yellow hat represents the logical positive and not just hope or wishful thinking. Green hat is the specific request for creative thinking, a specific request for proposals, alternatives, new ideas, and even provocations. Blue hat is like a conductor of an orchestra. It asks for the other hats or different thinking operation.
I want to take this class because I want to learn some strategies about motivation, creative, and critical thinking. Because I want to become a high school teacher in the future. When I graduate, I will go back to China and find a job in high school. So I want to know what activities I can do to promote my students and to make them become more creative and critical. And about the assignments, we have a lot of options, and I really like that. So we can choose from several options which we like. And for the first assignment, I did curriculum brainstorming and book review. And I think these assignments are very helpful. So when I do book review, I can find the strengths and weaknesses and the good points or something, and what I can take home. And for the curriculum brainstorming, so I added something to the curriculum we had in the last semester for a teaching program, and I added some activities to the program. I think that's very useful.
And I get people in the class who might be associate instructors, they might be teachers in schools, they might be principals, consultants, they could be early child educators. It runs the gamut of different teaching and learning sectors. I want this course to be something they actually can go home, talk to their friends, talk to their spouse or colleagues and say, I've learned this that I can use and I can teach you this. So the emphasis is definitely on the doing over the reflection. In many college classes, the emphasis is on reflection over the doing. We need both. And since there's so much reflection and so much reading in other courses, in particular mine have lots of readings, this class is much more emphasizing the active implementation side. And so I want people to feel comfortable when they walk into a classroom down the road that they have many ideas that they can now use. I want people to start with a base, and so this class can provide that base, that safe harbor, those initial kernels of ideas for them to be creative from. So at least there's that comfort zone, at least there's that starting point, at least there's that base to build on now after walking out of this class, that they can take the ideas and move into a number of different topics or disciplines or educational sectors. Well, that's the mission here, and that's the goal, is to get people to think about their teaching in new ways and in the integrative aspects of that teaching. So good luck.